Before you reach for your phone, before your mind starts replaying yesterday, or rushing ahead into everything waiting for you today, just pause for a moment. Not everything has to begin in a hurry. There's a small window right here, these first quiet minutes after you wake up, that often pass unnoticed. But they matter more than we think, because what touches your mind first tends to stay with you. It shapes how you think, how you respond, how you carry yourself through the rest of the day. And most mornings, without realizing it, we let the noise of the world step in first. Messages, notifications, responsibilities, unfinished conversations, lingering worries. Before we even get out of bed, we're already carrying something. Maybe that feels familiar to you. Maybe you woke up today with a weight you can't fully explain. Not something dramatic, just a quiet heaviness. Something about your work, your finances, your family, your health, or simply the feeling of being a little worn down. And if that's where you are right now, there's nothing wrong with you. But there is another way to begin, not by ignoring those things and not by forcing yourself to feel different, but by choosing what comes first. Before anything else asks for your attention, you can choose to turn your attention toward God. Not as a performance, not as a perfect prayer, just a simple, honest moment of turning. Because when your day begins from that place, something shifts. Not always in your circumstances right away, but in the way you carry them. And sometimes, that's where change begins. There's a quiet choice we make every morning, often without noticing it. We decide what we let in first, and whatever comes first has a way of setting the direction for everything that follows. If the first voice you hear is worry, your mind will keep returning to it. If the first thing you carry is pressure, it tends to stay with you, shaping how you respond to even the smallest moments. But the opposite is also true. When you begin with God, you're not pretending your problems aren't there. You're not avoiding reality. You're not forcing yourself into a different mood. You're simply choosing a different starting point, a steadier one. Putting God first doesn't mean the day becomes easy. It means you don't walk into it alone. It means your thoughts are not the only voice guiding you. Your reactions are not driven only by what you feel in the moment. There is something deeper underneath it all, something holding you steady, even when the day isn't. And that shift is often quiet. Not dramatic, not instant, but real. So before we go any further, just take a moment to be intentional. If this resonates with you, you might want to leave a simple line in the comments. Not for anyone else, just as a small step for yourself. Lord, I put you first today. Or God, I surrender this day to you. And if there's someone you know who's been carrying too much lately, you can share this with them. Sometimes a small reminder is enough to help someone start again in a better place. For many people, the day doesn't begin with clarity. It begins with a kind of quiet pressure. Before anything has even happened, the mind is already moving, replaying conversations, anticipating problems, trying to get ahead of things that haven't even arrived yet. And over time, that pattern becomes familiar. You wake up, and almost immediately, you're carrying something. Not because you want to, but because that's what your mind has learned to do. It fills the silence quickly, sometimes with responsibility, sometimes with worry, sometimes with a low, steady sense of tension you can't fully explain. And if that continues long enough, it can start to feel normal. But just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's helping you. There's another way to begin, not by forcing your thoughts to disappear, but by choosing where you place them. Scripture puts it simply, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait." There's something unhurried in that. Not rushing, not reacting, just placing things down before they have a chance to weigh you down. So right now, wherever you are, whether you're still in bed or already moving through your morning, take a slow breath. You don't have to solve anything in this moment. You don't have to figure everything out. Just allow a small space to open up. A quiet moment before the rest of the day begins. And from that place, we'll begin to pray. Heavenly Father, I come to you at the beginning of this day, not because everything is settled, but because I need a place to begin. Before I step into what's waiting for me, before I respond to the demands of this day, I choose to turn toward you first. Not out of habit, and not because I have the right words, but because I know I shouldn't carry this day on my own. So I pause here and I place myself before you, quietly, honestly. Lord, you are still the same today as you were yesterday, steady, present, unchanging, and in a world that shifts so easily, that matters more than I often realize. Thank you for this day, for the breath in my lungs, for the simple fact that I woke up. There are many things I don't have control over, many things I don't fully understand, but this moment right here is a gift, and I don't want to rush past it. So I take a moment to acknowledge you. Not in a perfect way, just in a real one. I don't bring you a performance. I bring you where I actually am, and as this day begins, I make a simple choice to put you first, not just in words, but in the direction of my attention, in the posture of my heart, in the way I carry myself forward. Be with me in this beginning, Lord. Settle what feels unsettled. Quiet what feels noisy inside, and help me start this day from a place that is steady, not rushed, not overwhelmed, but grounded in you. Father, as I come into this moment, I don't come pretending that everything is fine. You already see what I carry, the things I've been thinking about, the concerns I haven't been able to set aside, the quiet weight that follows me. Even when I try to ignore it, some of it is clear, some of it is harder to name, but none of it is hidden from you. So right now, in a simple and honest way, I begin to place these things before you. The pressures I feel, the responsibilities that seem too heavy, the situations I don't know how to fix, I bring them to you. Not because I have the right words and not because I fully understand what to do, but because I know I was never meant to carry all of this on my own. Lord, there are thoughts that keep returning, questions without clear answers, concerns about what might happen next, and slowly, without noticing, they begin to take up more space than they should. Today, I choose to release that, not by denying that these things matter, but by trusting that they matter to you more than I realize. So I let go of the need to control every outcome. I let go of the pressure to have everything figured out. I let go of the fear that things will fall apart if I don't hold them together, and I place all of it into your hands. Teach me how to carry this day differently. Not with tension, not with constant worry, but with a quiet trust that I am not alone in what I face, that you are present in every part of it, even the parts I don't understand yet. And as I release these burdens, help me to notice what changes, not necessarily around me, but within me. A little more space, a little more calm, a little more steadiness than before. And for now, Lord, that is enough. Lord, as I step into this day, I don't just ask for outcomes to change. I ask for you to be present in the way I think, in the words I speak, and in the way I live each moment. Begin with my thoughts, because that is where everything quietly starts. When my mind drifts toward worry, bring me back to what is true. When I begin to assume the worst, slow me down. When my thoughts become scattered or heavy, help me return to a place of clarity. Not by force, but by gently redirecting what I focus on. Teach me to notice what I'm holding in my mind, and to choose it more carefully. Then, Lord, be present in my words. There will be conversations today, some easy, some not. In moments where I could react quickly, give me space to pause. Let my words not come from frustration or pressure, but from a steadier place. Help me to speak in a way that brings calm instead of adding tension. Help me to listen fully, without already preparing my response. And when silence is better than speaking, give me the wisdom to recognize it. And finally, be present in my actions. In the small decisions, in the unnoticed moments, in the way I carry myself when no one is watching. Let what I do reflect something deeper than habit. When I'm tired, give me patience. When I'm stretched, give me grace. When I'm tested, remind me who I want to be in that moment. Not perfect, but aware. Aware that you are with me in ordinary moments, not just significant ones. So today, Lord, I invite you into the details. Not just the big decisions, but the quiet, everyday choices that shape who I become over time. Stay close in all of it, and help me to stay aware that you are near. Father, I don't walk through this life alone. There are people you've placed around me, family, friends, those who know me well, and even those I only cross paths with for a moment. And today, I bring them before you. Thank you for the ones who have stood beside me, for the support I've received, even when I didn't fully notice it, for the quiet ways others have carried me through difficult seasons. Bless them, Lord. Be present in their lives in ways I may never see. Strengthen them where they feel worn down. Bring clarity where they feel uncertain. Give them peace in the places that have been unsettled. And for the relationships that feel strained, the ones that carry tension, distance, or misunderstanding, I place those in your hands as well. You know what has been said. You know what has been left unsaid. You understand the parts I cannot fully explain. Where there is hurt, bring healing, not instantly, but honestly. Help me not to hold on to what is weighing me down, not by ignoring it, but by releasing it little by little. Teach me what it means to forgive. Not as a reaction, but as a decision that frees my own heart. And where I have contributed to the distance, give me the humility to see it clearly, the courage to take a step when it's needed, and the wisdom to know when to be still. Lord, shape the way I show up in my relationships today. In patience, in understanding, in quiet strength. Let my presence bring a sense of steadiness, not pressure. And even in relationships that remain complicated, remind me that I don't have to carry them alone. You are already there, working in ways I cannot control and often cannot see. So I trust you with the people in my life. Care for them, guide them, and teach me how to love them with more grace than I had yesterday. Lord, as I move into this day, I realize how many decisions I will make, some small, some more significant than they seem at first. And I know that left to myself, I can easily react too quickly or be led by what feels urgent in the moment. So today, I ask for something deeper than quick answers. I ask for your guidance. Not in a loud or overwhelming way, but in a steady, quiet direction. That helps me take the next step well. When I'm unsure, slow me down enough to notice. When I feel pressure to decide too quickly, give me the patience to pause. When something looks right on the surface, but isn't right underneath, help me sense the difference. Teach me to listen more carefully, not only to what is being said around me, but to what is forming within me. Help me recognize the difference between fear and wisdom, between urgency and clarity. And when I don't have all the information, remind me that I don't need to rush ahead. It's okay to move one step at a time. Lord, guide my thoughts so they don't drift aimlessly. Guide my choices so they don't come from habit alone. Guide my path in ways that may not be obvious at first, but become clearer as I continue walking. And when I make mistakes, because I know I will, meet me there with correction, not condemnation. Help me learn, adjust, and keep moving forward without carrying unnecessary weight. More than anything, I don't want to be led only by my own understanding. I want to be shaped by something wiser, steadier, and more grounded than my shifting perspective. So today, I choose to rely on you. Not because I have everything figured out, but because I trust that you see further than I do. And step by step, that is enough. Lord, there are moments I can already sense times today when my strength may not feel enough. Moments where I grow tired more quickly than I expect. Where my patience feels thin. Where my thoughts become heavier than I can easily carry. And in those moments, I don't need to become stronger all at once. I need to remember that I'm not alone. So when I feel weak, remind me gently that you are still near. Not distant. Not waiting for me to have everything together, but present even in the middle of my uncertainty. When my mind starts to drift toward fear, bring me back, not with pressure, but with a quiet reassurance that I am held. When I begin to feel lost in what I don't understand, help me take a step back and see what is still steady. When I question whether I have enough to keep going, remind me that I don't have to rely on myself alone. There is strength available to me. That doesn't come from trying harder, but from staying connected to you. And when I feel unworthy, when I feel like I should be further along than I am, help me remember that I'm still seen, still known, still cared for. Not because I've done everything right, but because your presence does not depend on my performance. Lord, when the day feels uncertain, remind me that I don't have to understand everything ahead. I only need to stay present with you in what is in front of me. When I feel alone, remind me that you have not stepped away. Even if I don't feel it clearly, even if my emotions say otherwise, you are still here. So in the moments when I begin to lose my sense of direction, bring me back to something simple, that I am not walking through this day by myself, and that, even in weakness, there is still a quiet kind of strength available to me because you are near. Father, in the middle of everything that asks for my attention, help me not to overlook what is already here. There are things I move past too quickly, things I assume will always be there, things I rarely pause long enough to notice. But they are not small. They are part of the quiet ways you care for me each day. The breath I take without thinking, the steady rhythm of my heart, the light that fills the room in the morning, a place to rest, food on the table, a voice I recognize, a moment of calm that passes almost unnoticed. These are simple things, but they are not insignificant. And sometimes, without realizing it, I focus more on what is missing than on what has already been given. So today, I ask you to adjust my perspective, not by denying what is difficult, but by helping me see what is still good. Even in a day that may not be easy, there are still signs of your presence. In the middle of responsibility, in a brief moment of quiet, in the kindness of someone I didn't expect. Help me to notice those moments, to slow down enough to recognize them before they pass, and let gratitude become something steady in me, not dependent on everything going right, but rooted in the awareness that I am still being cared for even now. Teach me to carry that awareness into the rest of this day, so that even when things feel uncertain, I don't lose sight of what is still holding me up. And in that quiet recognition, let there be a little more peace than before. Before we continue, take a quiet moment to notice what you're carrying right now. There may be something specific on your mind, something that has been sitting with you for a while. For some, it may be financial pressure, numbers that don't quite add up, decisions that feel heavier than expected. For others, it may be something more personal, a health concern, a relationship that feels distant, or a situation that hasn't moved forward the way you hoped. And sometimes it's not even one clear thing, just a steady sense of uncertainty about what comes next. Whatever it is, you don't have to push it aside to keep going. You can bring it into this moment. If it feels right, you might want to put it into a simple sentence, just between you and God. God, I trust you with, and then quietly name it. Not because writing it down changes everything immediately, but because it can be a small step toward placing it somewhere other than your own shoulders. And if you choose to leave that in the comments, it doesn't have to be detailed. Even a few words are enough. Sometimes, seeing that others are carrying similar things can remind us that we're not as alone as we think. So take a moment, name what you're holding, and gently place it into God's hands, one honest step at a time. Lord, as I move further into this day, I ask for your protection, not only around me, but within me, because I know that what happens inside often shapes everything I experience on the outside. So begin with my mind. There will be many thoughts today, some helpful, some not. Some grounded in truth, others shaped by fear, assumption, or past experience. Help me notice the difference. When negative thoughts try to settle in, don't let them take root without question. Slow me down enough to see them clearly, and give me the clarity to let them go. Fill my mind with what is steady and true. Not by forcing everything to feel positive, but by helping me return to what is real and grounded. And guard my heart, Lord, because it's easy for small things to build quietly over time. Frustration that isn't addressed, disappointment that lingers, moments that leave a mark deeper than expected. If I'm not careful, those things can begin to shape how I see others and how I respond to them. So keep my heart open, but not unguarded. Soft, but not easily overwhelmed. If something begins to take hold in me that doesn't belong, bitterness, resentment, or quiet anger, help me recognize it early. And instead of holding onto it, teach me how to release it before it grows. Lord, let my inner life be a place of steadiness. Not perfect, but aware. Aware of what I'm allowing in. Aware of what I'm holding onto. Aware of when I need to pause and reset. Because I don't want to be carried through this day by whatever happens around me. I want to move through it with a mind that is clear and a heart that is at rest in you. So stay close in these unseen places. Lord, the thoughts no one hears, the feelings I don't always express, and keep them aligned with something deeper than the moment. Father, there are areas in my life that feel worn down, places that don't have the strength they once had, and I bring those to you now. Not with pressure, not with a need for immediate answers, but with a quiet trust that you are already aware. Where there is physical weakness, I ask for your healing. Not only in what can be seen, but in the parts of the body that carry strain over time. Give rest where there has been exhaustion. Bring renewal where things have slowly declined. And where healing takes time, give patience for the process. Lord, there are also parts of my life that feel unsettled or uncertain, areas where I don't know how things will work out, where resources feel limited, where the future doesn't look clear. In those places, be my provider, not always by changing everything at once, but by meeting me in what I need for today. Enough clarity for the next step, enough strength for what's in front of me, enough provision to keep moving forward. And for the parts of my heart that feel tired or affected by what I've gone through, bring restoration. Not by erasing what has happened, but by gently rebuilding what has been weakened. Restore perspective where it has narrowed. Restore hope where it has faded. Restore a sense of direction where I've lost it. Lord, I know that not everything changes overnight, but I also know that nothing is outside of your care. So I place these areas in your hands, my health, my needs, my future, and the parts of me that are still healing. And I choose to trust that even now, in ways I may not fully see yet, you are already at work, step by step, quietly, but faithfully. Father, as I come to the close of this prayer, I'm aware that the day ahead is still unfolding. There will be moments I can't predict, things that don't go as planned, situations that ask more from me than I expect, and I don't need to pretend otherwise. But I choose, in this moment, to ground myself in something steady. Not in how the day looks, but in who you are. Even if I don't see immediate change, I will still trust. Even if answers take time, I will still remain open. Even if parts of today feel uncertain, I will not let that uncertainty take over everything, because my faith is not built on what I can measure or control. It rests in something deeper than that. In your consistency, in your presence, in the way you continue to hold what I cannot. So as I step forward, I do so with a quiet confidence. Not confidence in myself having everything figured out, but confidence that I am not walking into this day alone, that you are already present in what I will face, already aware of what is ahead, already working in ways I may only understand later, and that changes how I move forward. I don't need to rush. I don't need to carry everything at once. I don't need to prove anything in this moment. I can take the next step and then the next with a steady trust that you are with me in each one. So whatever this day holds, Lord, help me remain grounded, not pulled in every direction, not shaped only by circumstances, but anchored in the awareness that I am held, and that for today is enough. Lord, as I step into the rest of this day, I place it fully in your hands. Not just the parts I can plan, but also the moments I cannot see ahead. This day is not mine to control in every detail, but it is mine to walk through with you. So I entrust it to you. My time, my energy, my decisions, the conversations I will have, the places I will go, the things I will face, both expected and unexpected. Be present in all of it. Go before me in ways I may not notice at first. Stand with me in moments that feel uncertain, and remain with me in the quiet parts of the day that often pass without much thought. I also place the people connected to my life into your care. My family, my home, the responsibilities I carry for them. Watch over what I cannot control. Protect what I cannot always see. Bring steadiness where there has been strain. And as I move through this day, help me not to live in reaction to everything around me. Help me remain grounded. When things go well, keep me aware and thankful. When things feel difficult, keep me steady and clear. Let nothing pull me so far that I lose sight of what matters most. And in all of this, remind me of something simple, that I am not navigating this day alone, that your presence is not limited to this moment of prayer, but continues with me in every step that follows. So I begin this day with that awareness, not with pressure, not with fear, but with a quiet trust that wherever I go, you are already there. And for today, that is enough. If this moment of prayer has been meaningful to you, you can take a small step to hold on to it. Some people choose to write a simple amen in the comments, not as a formality, but as a quiet way of saying, I receive this and I carry it with me into today. And if there is something specific on your heart, something you're still processing or carrying, you're welcome to leave a few words about it as well. It doesn't have to be detailed. Even a short sentence is enough. Sometimes, just putting it into words can help you feel less alone in it. And over time, you may notice something else, that there are others here walking through similar things, holding on to similar hopes, learning, in their own way, to trust God with their day. If you feel this space is helping you begin your mornings with a little more steadiness, you can stay connected here. Not out of obligation, but simply as a way to return to a quiet starting point when you need it. Wherever you are today, you don't have to carry everything by yourself, and you don't have to figure it all out at once. Just take the next step with God, and with a little more peace than before. Before you move on with your day, just remember where this moment began. Not with noise, not with urgency, but with a pause. Before the messages, before the responsibilities, before everything that usually fills your attention, you chose to be still. And that matters. As you step into the rest of this day, may you carry that same steadiness with you. Not perfectly, not without interruption, but often enough to make a difference. May you remember that you don't have to react to everything immediately, that you can pause, take a breath, and return to what is grounded. May your thoughts be a little clearer, your words a little more measured, your heart a little less burdened than before. And when the day becomes busy, as it likely will, may you not forget this simple truth: you don't begin your day alone, and you don't continue it alone either. God is not only present in quiet moments like this, but also in the ordinary hours that follow, in your work, in your conversations, in the decisions you make along the way. So whatever today holds, walk into it with a quiet confidence. Not because everything is certain, but because you are not carrying it by yourself. And if at any point you feel pulled away again, you can always return, even for a brief moment, to that same place you started. A place of stillness, a place of awareness, a place where you remember that God is near. Go into your day with that in mind, with a little more calm, a little more clarity, and a steady sense that you are held. Amen.